Hey, what's up, guys? I actually wanted to make a video that, I haven't seen much information on, especially, on YouTube more specifically. Really anywhere, though. I haven't read articles on it, and I do read a lot. Um, and it's on the use of mental models in selling. So, the use of mental models in selling. What does this mean? Well, I think with every principle, there's a promise. This is a commonly shared belief system with a lot of the self-improvement coaches and high performance coaches, and with every principle comes a promise. What does that mean, and how does that tie into using mental models in selling? Well, one of the biggest mistakes I see salespeople make, just a little bit about me if you guys don't know, I work for one of Google's largest consulting partners in all of North America. We have 3,000 sales reps at our company. I'm within the top 5 of all the sales reps within my company, both in income and new business sales. Actually, I'm sorry, not in income, in new business sales. So what I see a lot of sales reps come and go, right? Because sales, obviously is one of the highest turnover professions, especially being on a commission-based model. What do I notice with salespeople? Well, there's two things that I notice, salespeople make mistakes with. One is over scripting, and then two is not training or educating at all, or scripting at all. So no scripting or over scripting. With every principle comes a promise. How does this tie into what I'm saying? Well, as you embark in a career in sales, it's really easy to buy into one of two philosophies. One being, I'm going to learn the script. I'm going to learn how to present my product in a structured step-by-step manner. I'm going to learn how to pick up the phone and introduce myself and greet myself and qualify the customer and set an appointment, the 5-step strategy with this script. And, I'm going to memorize the script, and I'm going to become great just by repeating that script. The problem with that belief system or approach to sales is it doesn't allow you to integrate your personality typically into the sales process. People don't want to talk to robots, they want to talk to people. And a common, not common, a really prevalent principle in sales is, all sales jobs are within a people-to-people business, not a people-to-product business. And a lot of people try and sell products to people instead of selling people to people, meaning selling yourself to your customers. And the way that you sell yourself is not by over scripting. The second mistake I see people make is under scripting, meaning they put zero preparation into honing in on a modernized delivery, either on the phone or in person, for a presentation of the product or service that your company offers. Under scripting is I would say a bigger problem than over scripting, because it's the laziest approach, and therefore it's what most people do. Most people enter a new sales job and they don't put in any work or training to learn at least some of the frameworks of a successful sales process. So where do you find the middle ground? Well, you find it by creating mental models for your sales job. And mental models are also known as principles or decision-making heuristics. And I learned a lot of this from Charlie Munger, who's one of my biggest, I guess you'd call, virtual role models. I really read up and listen to a lot of his speeches, read up on his books. He has a book called Munger's Worldly Wisdom. He has a book called Poor Charlie's Almanac. And these books are unbelievable books. Unbelievable books. Bill Gates and Warren Buffett both agree Charlie Munger is one of the smartest men in the world. You can see interviews of them saying this. Charlie Munger is kind of, the one half of Warren Buffett's brain. He's aided Warren Buffett in all of his biggest decisions in building Berkshire Hathaway and becoming one of the richest men in the world, one of the top 3 richest men in the world. So Charlie Munger is a lot of the brains behind the fact that Warren Buffett's one of the richest men in the world. And he wrote these 2 books. And, out of all the books he's ever read, Charlie Munger reads a lot. It's said that Warren Buffett reads about 8 hours a day. Bill Gates reads about 7 hours a day. And of course, they're in the business of investing. And, obviously in investments, you might only make 1 or 2 decisions every 1 or 2 years. So, the only way you can make good decisions is with adequate information, and therefore, people within investing-based trades typically read more than people in a higher transactional trade. So don't let the fact that Warren Buffett and Bill Gates read 7-8 hours a day make you feel stupid. Instead, compare it to the realisms of your everyday life. Regardless, Charlie Munger says mental models are the key to his success in life and business, and they will also be the key to your success in sales. And a mental model is a principle. So what are some of the examples of the mental models that Charlie Munger uses in making great investment decisions? Well, a couple mental models he follows. He follows the 25 cognitive biases. So these are, proven, cognitive biases that the human beings are prone to. It's been proven by Harvard psychologists, Stanford psychologists, etc., psychiatrists, neuro surgeons. Multiple people have verified that there is indeed a set of cognitive biases that affect the human mind. One of them being misweighting. So the misweighting bias. So the human brain has a tendency of not properly weighting potential outcomes. So for example, if you feel underprepared for a test, you might freak out and think you're going to fail, when in reality you're prepared enough to get an A- on the test. That would be misweighting your under preparation and anticipating an outcome that's more negative than would really materialize. So by understanding all of these cognitive biases, it allows you to avoid making cognitive, decision-making mistakes in your everyday life. So that's an example of a principle aiding you in your decision-making in your life. Will be another example of a principle causing a promise or a mental model. Well, another mental model that Charlie Munger follows is Occam's razor. So he'll always look for the simplest, shortest explanation for something rather than the most complicated answer to something. Whenever he's, analyzing, different decision-making paths. That's Occam's razor. Another one would be, his argument bias, his argument framework, which is he will never argue for something unless he can argue the opposing view better than he can his own view. So he'll never say that abortion is wrong until he can argue abortion is right better than abortion is wrong. So these are all frameworks he uses in his life to guide an ethical, successful lifestyle that he follows, which also made him immensely wealthy. So how do you do this in sales? Well, in sales, you need to embody mental models. You need to absorb the principles of successful sales tactics, and you need to allow those principles to overflow, to spill over the edge of the cup, per se. And in doing that, it'll allow you to be yourself. You won't be so scripted, but at the same time, you won't be unscripted. You'll be operating in a continuum between the two, between a scripted existence as a salesperson and non-scripted. You'll be operating based on sales principles rather than sales step-by-step sales tactics and things like that. You know, basing your sales off of, you know, true, tried, and tested principles is a lot more valuable, flexible, malleable, and effective than trying to apply a 5, 6, 7 step process to every one of your prospects. So find out the key principles of sales. You know, sales is a people-to-people business. People want to buy, but don't want to be sold. You know, what are other principles? Know your pitch. Have an elevator pitch. Always have an elevator pitch. Understand which customers need to be treated as consulting clients and which customers need to be treated as potential product buyers, which are completely different buyer types. Understand, I'm trying to think of other principles. Understand the 10X rule. The 10X rule says that if you want to achieve a goal to make $1 million, you really should set the goal to make $10 million, and then set the actions required to achieve the goal of $1 million, multiply them by 10, right? Multiply the goal to make $1 million and the actions required for that, multiply those actions by 10, multiply the goal by 10, you're going to come up short on either one. Which one would you rather come up short on? Would you rather come up short on $10 million or one? You know, energy over the words that you say, right? There's so many principles that you can always hang out onto as a salesperson. So create mental models, principles that you can operate on as a salesperson. Stop only following a script. Stop being completely unprepared as well. Find the middle ground and become a master of the principles of sales and operate from a place of abundance, from a clear, deep understanding of what sales really is and how it's going to apply to your prospect that you're in front of right now, tomorrow, or the next day. Call it just-in-time learning. Find the things out now that you'll use just in time for when it's useful tomorrow. Don't learn all these things and then push them off and apply them 3 months from now. Learn them now and find out how to apply them tomorrow. Just-in-time learning. All right, well, I hope that was helpful, and definitely try to integrate mental models into your sales process from here forward. All right, make it a great night. See you guys.